Hi, Ron here from L.T.L. Tutoring Central, and it's Friday again, so here I am having a little chat, and today it's about note-taking again, but this time novels. I'm focusing on primarily novels, and a lot of students believe they shouldn't take any notes when they read a novel. But I think it's a great idea. It can really help you when you need to find information more quickly than trying to reread the whole novel. So if there's a test coming up or a quiz, if it's on, let's say, the first 6 chapters, you can quickly look over your notes for those 6 chapters, and if you have decent notes, you'll get all the key bits of information. And if you're looking through your notes and you think, maybe I need a little bit more on the fire in chapter 3, for example. You can quickly find that in chapter 3. You know exactly which chapter it's in. You can find that piece of information and refresh your memory with the novel in combination with your notes. So notes can still be really helpful and relevant for looking back at the novel, but also for the quizzes and tests. Then when you have essays or book reports, notes are even more helpful because you don't need to reread the book 3 times, although that's great if you have the time to do that. But the notes can really help you. And again, it may be just to direct you to certain chapters within the novel to find a quotation to use in your essay. But that abbreviates the process because you know where the main events are. You know who the main characters are. You've got all of that information in your notes, so it's very easy to find even if you need to look back to the novel. And sometimes you have enough in your notes that you don't have to access the novel constantly because you have that information already available to you in a shorter form that you can use to help develop your thesis, your supporting arguments. You can find some of the fodder for that in your notes, and then the details you can, as I say, find in the novel. So for example, if you're reading a novel like George Orwell's 1984 for school, this is one that's given as a novel to read in high school a lot in Canada, you should take some notes. And here are my notes. Now these are notes that I took some time ago, and they're handwritten notes for this novel. And they look fairly long here, but remember they're handwritten and it's only on one side, so they're not maybe as long as it seems when you first look at them. And the first chapter is a little long. It's about 1.5 pages, it looks like, of handwriting here. And it's all in point form or abbreviated form. I do write some sentences too, but there's lots of point form as well. So things like the slogans, war is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. Those 3 mottos or sayings that are in the novel, I have them here in my notes for the first chapter, and I can always refer to that if I sort of forget or mix those up a little bit. For chapter 2, I'm going to read you the note I took for chapter 2. Neighbor's sink clogged. Her children playing spies accuse him of being a traitor. Mrs. Parsons' mom, says they're upset because they can't go see the hanging of Eurasian prisoners, I put in parentheses. We learn that children often turn in parents for a compromising remark or some other act. Winston recalls a dream he had maybe 7 years ago in which in a dark room O'Brien says, "We shall meet in the place where there is no darkness." And I put page 27 there in case I want to find that sounded important. That's it. I just turned the page and I'm already into chapter 3. So that's all I wrote down for chapter 2. It's not a lot of notes, and sometimes I'll write a lot more than that. It depends on the novel, and some novels take a little bit more than others. But sometimes you just need the key aspects in order for you to refer back to the novel, or just to even cling on your mind and you remember what's going on. And a quick review is really good for quizzes or in-class essays where they're not, unless it's open book, they're not expecting verbatim quotations and those sorts of things. This is really helpful so that you, in that 1, 2, 3 hours, you can write a really good essay just based on reviewing your notes. You may not be allowed to even have your notes in the essay, but reviewing your notes refreshes your memory on the plot, what happened, a series of events, the important aspects like those slogans that I just mentioned here, or even that sentence, we shall meet in the place where there is no darkness. That's very important in the novel. So refreshing your memory of these using your notes is absolutely essential, I think. A lot of students go in without notes, as I say. You can still do well, you can still manage, but I think it makes your life a lot easier, and I think you get that A+ more often if you take notes. And that's not just for novels. Do it if you're reading a Shakespeare play, Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet, Macbeth. Take some notes, brief notes, for each act, each scene. Put the little labels on so they're very easy to find if you need to add to your notes or if you need to refresh your memory with a little more of the development. It's maybe not in the notes. Short stories also. Now some are really, really short and you could just reread them, but other short stories are not all that short, so having a few quick notes is good for that as well. So, just a quick reminder, a friendly reminder, take some notes. It really doesn't take that much time. You can type them up. You don't have to handwrite them. I'm old-fashioned, but I do type them up sometimes. But anyway, do it in a manner that works for you. But do try to take some notes. Don't be afraid of that. It's not that much extra work in the beginning, and it saves a lot of time at the end. Plus, it can mean a much better quality essay or much better quality answers on tests. Or if you're doing a book report or a speech, any of those kinds of assignments, having these notes can really help you in the long run. All right, it's Ron Johnson from L.T.L. Tutoring Central, and there should be some links below to the website, maybe some other courses and whatnot. You can always check the website out for courses. Don't forget to subscribe, to like, to make a comment, try to be nice, and ask a question if you like, and I can answer your questions by email or here on YouTube. So I'll talk to you later. Have fun taking notes and enjoy the reading. I forgot to mention that. Just because you're taking notes doesn't mean you don't enjoy the reading. I just reread 1984 because some of my students are studying that now, and I've read it a couple of times. I did these notes many years ago, probably at least 10, 15 years ago, but it is great fun to read, and so enjoy the reading while you're taking a few notes. Okay, bye for now.